All right, Dr. Bill and Sean, love those guys. Just monsters. They inspired me when I was doing this. Man, some of you I know are just watching this going, I want to be up here next year, right? You're like, they're going to know my story, what I went through, you know, and I believe you will. No doubt in my mind. What's Henry Ford said? If you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're probably right, right? I mean, it's like your kids. I can't do it, Dad. Yes, you can. And so we're telling you can do this. It's just a matter of talking to people. So our next speaker is shattering every record I ever set. And then we did our best to break Rob Flick's records and Gene's. I mean, it's just the fun of it. Anybody competitive out there? It's like, well, if she did it, I can do it, you know? If he did it, I can do it, you know? And it's just this like, okay, that's the goal. That's the benchmark. And we're getting better and faster. And nobody laughs about our stock now. Do you remember that a year and a half ago? Now it's like, just crickets. They don't laugh about the stock now. They're like, we need to have a meeting. What else can we laugh about? Nothing, right? So our next speaker is just ripping the cover off the ball, to use a baseball term. He lives in Phoenix, where the heart of home spring training is, the big baseball town. So would you help me welcome from Phoenix, Arizona, Mr. Curtis Johnson, who's only been here since like January. 455 agents. Give him a hand, everyone.
All right, thanks for having me up here. Man, that's a good-looking group out there. I think I'm a little bit nervous because normally I'm in a suit and tie, and Brent wouldn't allow that. So I'll share a little bit about my story, a couple things I think that I've gotten lucky at. I really feel that I'm the luckiest guy in EXP. I feel like everything I've done I've just gotten super lucky with. So my experience with EXP was right when Brent was looking at it. I think I was one of the first 6 or 8 people that he called initially and said, hey, you know, we'd usually room together when we'd go on speaking things and stuff like that, and he was always awesome. But I knew he wasn't thrilled with where he was at, looking for new opportunities. And he called and goes, dude, you've got to look at this. Will you please at least look at this? And I said, hey, I just barely started a partnership with somebody else. I'll look at it as a friend, but I'm just not open to anything. And he said, will you please at least look at it? I said, oh, sure, I'll at least look at it. And the time came, we looked at it, and I wasn't open to it. It was maybe 1,200 people at the time. And I looked at it, and I was like, wow, you'd have to be really good to be able to do this. But I was like, Brent, this is the most incredible thing. I said, he's just going to kill it. It's just the most incredible thing. I said, it's not a good time for me. I'm not open to it, but I think it's going to do amazing, and we'll just kind of keep tabs on it. We'd keep tabs, and we'd go through the process. And after a few months, I mean, at least once or twice a month, we'd kind of connect and see how it's going. And he'd start out, and he'd hit 5,000, and then 10,000, and then 15,000, and 20,000 later in the year. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just amazing. But I could never be Brent. I knew I could never be Brent, but I said, how many people have you really sponsored? And it was 20 and 30 and 40. And I was like, well, how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people did you have to share the message with and have them look at this? And he was kind of telling me the numbers, and I was figuring, okay, if I was gonna come over, how many people I'd have to put this in front of, but it just wasn't a good time. And then finally, I started seeing some other people that I really, really respected come over. And Jay Kinder really kind of flipped the switch for me. When he came over, I thought he was going to go down to Florida and figure it out and find all the holes in it and say it wasn't worth it. But he was like, dude, it's legit. It's everything we've been trying to build for years and years and years. And I didn't want to move, right? I mean, I don't think anybody wanted to move. Nobody wanted to come to EXP. Let's get real about it, right? It's easier to not come. And it's a pain. Nobody wants to come, right? But then when you actually get it, you can't not come. So it was in December. It was like 2 days before Christmas. Rob Flip, he came over. He sat down for a long time, and we went through this. And there was so many good people. Jeff Willems was really great. A lot of people that were so great in just sharing this idea to help get past that. So when we talk about it's Team EXP, there's a lot of people that are in here that I've had conversations with that are in different lines and different stuff like that. Like, we're all in the same boat. We're all going through this together, and we're all going to get to the top of the mountain together. That's what's kind of cool about this. So my experience was at the end of January, we came over, and I got super lucky. Started going on social media, started being able to share, hey, this is what we're doing. And people just started reaching out. The people I reached out to, I only reached out to about 10 people, and all of them said no. One of them here that said hell no, they actually just came over about a month and a half ago. And it's one of the top teams in the country, but they were a hell no. They weren't even coming. So that was pretty awesome when they came over. And like I said, just as a tip, when we were looking at what to do, I would say swing big. Recruit people that can recruit, right? Producers produce. If you want a producer, they hang around other producers. You want to hang around people. You want to find people that can attract people. Find attractive people. Not just the way you look, but find people that are attractive. They tend to, if someone can recruit, they can keep doing that. If somebody's built a team, they can keep being able to do that. So my experience was, like I said, I've been super lucky. Some of the biggest agents have reached out to me, and they've decided to come over. I think we can share results, right? That's what the email said. Brent said, we can? Okay. So he said, and this just really inspires me. Again, I look at this, I'm like, holy cow, that's pretty lucky. So, and I know you guys just inspire the heck out of me. It's just amazing. So my first full month, the whole time I was with KW as a part owner in one of those, I made less than $500 the whole time I was there, which was more than I made at RE/MAX. So there's no problem with that. That's still kind of cool. Didn't get any stock. And again, Brent says it, but he says, man, if this doesn't work right, you just go back. You go back to where you were, but you'll get a better split. You'll end up with a better deal. And we're seeing that right now. People that had committed to come over to us, and then they go to resign, and they say, well, here, stay. We'll pay your office fee. We'll pay this. So I tell everybody, if anybody sees a clip on this on social media, go to your broker and tell them you're coming to EXP. You'll just get a better deal, if nothing else. And if they don't give you a better deal, they don't like you, so you should come with us anyways. That's my tip. All right. So my first full month, which was February, where is it? Got $1,800, which blew my mind because I thought, man, I was hoping for 100. My first year, I said, okay, what did Brent do? And I figured my target, I wanted to go out and recruit about 30 people. My team was about 20 people. So I kind of figured I kind of had a cheat code, as someone in my group says. I kind of had a jump right there with 20. And I thought, if I can go out and recruit about another 15, 20 people, and if I could get to 100 people, the whole group, at the end of 2018, I'd just be nuts. I'd be crazy. I knew what that kind of came out to. That would legitimize it. My wife's an accountant, and so I figured she'd lay off me, and it would be cool. I figured if I could get to like $5,000 a month, then it'd be, okay, it's game over, we're good to go that first year. So the first month was $1,800. The second month was $9,400, and my wife was on board. It was awesome, right? I was like, it's like Monopoly money at that point, because anything over $5,000, it was like, hey, well, you said, So Amazon's a good thing at our house. The third month was $14,000. Then the fourth month was $26,000. Then $21,000. Then $26,000 again. And we got $13,000 in the hopper. They just paid us yesterday, which was Rev Share Day, which is kind of cool. And we got about $13,000. So I'm thinking we're gonna get over $30,000 this next month. And out of that $455, it's actually $477. That was like 3 days ago. And I got 39. By the end of this week that are in. So I don't know where the 40th is coming from. So if anybody does not have a sponsor here today, I'm looking for a 40. I'm just saying, go with the person that brought you. But if nobody brought you, I'm here. Let's get to know each other. All right. So a couple last things with this. So again, I can't believe it. We're going to be way over 100. We're actually way over 100 right now. So that's pretty cool. Brent laid out the idea of how many people to go. I said, no BS. Just cut because he can sell anything. And I said, I'm not you, but tell me, what do I have to do? What are the actions I have to do? And figured out I had to go and have 150 people watch the webinar and then get on the phone with somebody else. And I was like, okay, so that's like, 3 people a week. I'm like, okay, I can do that. If that's my target, I can do that. And then we started rolling it out, and then it just never happened, right? Because all these people started coming. And figure out what your numbers are. Figure out how many people you actually have to go to. But this isn't attracting business, right? So what I would say is give. We've talked to people. Tierney was talking about some of doing the masterminds and the workshops. That's where it's at, right? The cold calling, I don't know. I haven't really seen that be terribly effective in my world. But just give. So if you want something, give it. So just be so generous in the way that you're giving, and just go, man, where can I bring value to this industry? How can I do this? Because I can promise you can't outgive the universe. You just can't do it. You just give, and you're like, but nothing's coming back. Well, then you're focused on the wrong thing. Give without any expectation of getting anything in return. There, I say something good? All right, give. Yeah, just give it, right? Just keep giving. Just go, man, like, oh, well, what if I don't get anybody from this class? Well, you're doing it the wrong way then. Just give because that's the person you want. Someone said at the beginning, be like Brent. Be like, man, if we could all be like Brent and people want to be around us, wouldn't that be awesome, right? But be like that. And then I'll tell you something else. So I looked at it for a year, and I felt Brent loved me just the same, at the end of that year without coming as he did at the beginning of the year. So if there's people that you've reached out to and you're not being as compassionate, you're not being as loving, maybe you drop, you're like, well, they're not interested, you're doing it wrong. Because you should be loving them even more. You should be caring about them. You should be doing everything possible, because you don't want to be that person that's trying to recruit them, and then if they're not interested or whatever, you write them off. That's not cool either, right? We don't want to be that company. Let's be the company of giving. Let's go out and find things that we can say, well, let's go make a difference in the world. Let's go do things like that instead of, well, everybody they think at EXP they're just trying to get us. No, we're the giving company, not the trying to get company. That's what I would say with that. Honestly, I think I'm the luckiest guy in the whole world. This is so incredible. This is going to change multiple, generations if we don't screw it up. Isn't that right? We're not going to screw it up, right? No. Promise? Okay. Let's not screw it up. So thank you for letting me come, and come say hi. Thanks.
Great job, Curtis. Is he awesome or what? I love what he said. What are you focused on? Are you focused on receiving or giving? That was awesome. Loved it.